For nearly 70 years, the hierarchy of the off-road world has been written in stone. It was a simple, unshakable law of the automotive universe. If you wanted luxury, you bought a Range Rover. If you wanted military-grade status, you bought a Mercedes G-Wagon. And if you wanted to survive the apocalypse, or simply cross the Australian outback without dying of thirst, you bought a Toyota Land Cruiser. This triumvirate has ruled without question. They have set the prices, they have dictated the technology, and they have become complacent. They believed that heritage alone was enough to justify extortionate price tags and ancient engineering. They were wrong. Today, we are looking at the machine that has finally shattered that peace. It is not German, it is not British, and it is certainly not Japanese. This is the GWM TANK 700 Hi4T. And looking at it, you might think it is merely a visual pastiche, a cyberpunk interpretation of a G-Wagon aimed at the nouveau riche. But to dismiss this vehicle as a mere copycat is to make a fatal error. This is a 3-ton declaration of war. While Toyota is busy downsizing its engines to 4 cylinders in the name of efficiency, Great Wall Motor has done the unthinkable. They have fitted this beast with a 3-liter V6 twin-turbo engine coupled to a massive electric hybrid system. The result is a vehicle that offers Rolls-Royce levels of interior opulence, supercar acceleration figures, and military-grade off-road capability, all for a price that makes a Land Cruiser look like a bad joke. For my viewers in the UK, Australia, and the Middle East, this is the most important car review of the year. For my viewers in the United States and Canada, this is a look at the forbidden fruit that your trade tariffs are keeping from you. We are going to dismantle the GWM TANK 700 piece by piece to answer one terrifying question for the Japanese auto industry. Is the reign of the Land Cruiser finally over? To understand why the TANK 700 is such a threat, we must first look under the bonnet. In recent years, the trend in the automotive world has been depressing. We have seen the Mercedes C63 lose its V8. We have seen the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado drop to a 2.4-liter 4-cylinder in many markets. The narrative is always the same. We must sacrifice power and soul for the sake of emissions compliance. GWM, however, has rejected this premise entirely. They have engineered a powertrain that is nothing short of a masterpiece of defiance. At the heart of the TANK 700 sits a 3.0-liter V6 twin-turbo petrol engine. On its own, this combustion engine is a powerhouse, delivering 360 brake horsepower. But GWM did not stop there. They integrated a P2 electric motor directly into the 9-speed hydraulic automatic transmission, 9HAT. This is not a mild hybrid system designed to save a few milliliters of fuel at a traffic light. This is a high-performance hybrid architecture. When you combine the petrol engine and the electric motor, the total system output is a staggering 517 brake horsepower and 800 Newton-meters of torque. Let us pause and contextualize those numbers. A standard Toyota Land Cruiser 300 series with a diesel V6 produces 700 Newton-meters. The petrol version produces less. The TANK 700 obliterates them both. It accelerates from 0 to 62 miles per hour in roughly 5 seconds. We are talking about a vehicle with the aerodynamics of a brick and the weight of a small house, outpacing hot hatches on the motorway. And unlike many plug-in hybrids that become lethargic once the battery is depleted, the Hi4T system is designed to maintain performance. The intelligent energy management ensures that there is always battery reserve for those critical moments when you need maximum torque, whether you are overtaking a lorry on the Autobahn or climbing a 45-degree sand dune in Dubai. If the powertrain is a hammer, the interior is a velvet glove. This is where the cultural shift between Chinese and Japanese manufacturing becomes painfully obvious. When you step inside a Toyota Land Cruiser, even the top-spec Sahara or ZX models, you are met with a very specific philosophy. Durability first, luxury second. There are hard plastics. The infotainment system feels like it was designed in 2015. The switchgear is functional, chunky, and undeniably reliable. But it feels agricultural. You are paying premium prices for a utility vehicle that has been slightly dressed up. Step inside the Tank 700 and your brain struggles to process the price point. The cabin is not just an upgrade, it is a different stratosphere. The first thing you notice is the roof. It features a starlight headliner, with hundreds of fiber optic lights embedded in the suede material. Mimicking the signature feature of a Rolls-Royce Phantom, it is ostentatious. Yes, but the execution is flawless. The seats are upholstered in high-grade Napa leather, featuring heating, ventilation, and a 10-point massage function not just for the driver, but for the rear passengers as well. The rear seats also recline electronically to a staggering 141 degrees. This is not an SUV for the school run. This is a limousine on stilts. The noise, vibration, and harshness NVH levels are class-leading. GWM has utilized double glazing acoustic glass and active noise cancellation technology to ensure that when you are cruising at 70 miles per hour, the cabin remains library quiet. Compare this to the wind noise around the A-pillars of a Land Cruiser or a Jeep Wrangler. And the difference is night and day. The dashboard is dominated by a massive touchscreen that actually responds instantly, a concept that legacy manufacturers seem to struggle with. It runs on a high-speed chipset, offering sharp graphics and intuitive menus. This is the e-smartphone on wheels philosophy applied to a tank. Critics often argue that Chinese vehicles are all show and no-go. They claim that while the screens are pretty, the mechanicals will crumble at the first sign of mud. With the Tank 700, this criticism is factually incorrect. This vehicle is built on a traditional body-on-frame chassis. It is a ladder-frame beast, just like the Land Cruiser, the Patrol, and the G-Wagon. This is the only way to ensure true structural rigidity in extreme environments. But GWM has packed this chassis with technology that usually costs thousands of pounds as aftermarket options. Out of the box, the Tank 700 comes equipped with 3 differential locks: front, rear, and center. This mechanical trifecta is the gold standard of off-roading. It means that even if only one wheel has traction, the vehicle can pull itself out of trouble. But the pièce de résistance is the electronic disconnectable stabilizer bar. With the push of a button, the anti-roll bar disconnects, allowing for massive wheel articulation. This keeps the tires on the ground in extreme cross-axle situations, maintaining grip where other SUVs would be lifting a wheel and spinning power away uselessly. Furthermore, the vehicle rides on a sophisticated air suspension system paired with electromagnetic shock absorbers. This allows for adjustable ride height, lifting the body to clear obstacles and wade through water up to 970 millimeters deep. That is nearly a meter of water wading capability directly from the factory. The approach and departure angles are aggressive, designed to clear rocks and steep inclines without tearing off the bumpers. This is military-grade hardware, disguised as a luxury lounge. One of the biggest skepticisms surrounding hybrid off-roaders is the placement of the battery. If you put a lithium-ion battery under the floor of a vehicle that is designed to smash into rocks, you are asking for a thermal runaway event. GWM has addressed this with the High 40 architecture. The battery pack is not slung low under the floorboards where it is vulnerable. Instead, it is mounted above the chassis rails, tucked safely towards the rear, encased in a steel protection cage. This placement serves 2 purposes. It protects the critical energy source from impact damage during rock crawling, and it creates a balanced weight distribution. The hybrid system also solves the age-old problem of turbo lag. In a petrol V6, when you are at the bottom of a steep hill and you mash the throttle, there is a delay while the turbos spool up. In off-roading, that delay can mean losing momentum and getting stuck. The P2 electric motor in the Tank 700 fills that gap instantly. Torque is available from 0 RPM. This allows for precise, controlled crawling over obstacles without the need to rev the engine aggressively. It is a level of control that makes novice drivers look like experts. And regarding range anxiety, a common fear with EVs, this is a PHEV. It has a pure electric range of roughly 55 to 60 miles, which covers most daily commutes. But for long expeditions, you have the petrol engine acting as a generator and a propulsion unit, giving you a combined range that rivals diesel trucks. We must address the elephant in the room, or rather, the elephant that is notably absent from the room. If you are watching this from the United States or Canada, you are likely looking at this machine with a mixture of envy and frustration. The GWM TANK 700 was showcased at CES in Las Vegas, flaunting its capabilities right in the backyard of Jeep and Ford. Yet, due to the current geopolitical climate and the imposing 100% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles, it is highly unlikely that you will see this vehicle in North American showrooms anytime soon. This creates a fascinating distortion in the market. American consumers are being protected from Chinese competition, but they are also being deprived of innovation. While Australian and Middle Eastern buyers can choose between a Land Cruiser and a significantly cheaper, more powerful Tank 700, North Americans are stuck with inflated dealer markups on legacy products. The lack of competition allows brands like Toyota and Ford to stagnate. Why should they put a V6 hybrid in the Bronco or the 4Runner if there is no cheaper competitor forcing their hand? The Tank 700 serves as a stark reminder of what the free market could look like. It is the forbidden fruit, and its absence speaks volumes about the shifting tides of global industrial power. So, is the GWM TANK 700 the new king? To answer that, we must define royalty. If being king means having the highest resale value and a dealer network in every village from Timbuktu to Tokyo, then no, Toyota still wears the crown. The Land Cruiser's reputation was built over 70 years, and GWM cannot replicate that trust overnight. Reliability over 2 decades is yet to be proven for the Tank brand. However, if being king means delivering the best engineering, the most luxury, and the highest capability for the price, then the revolution has already happened. The Tank 700 makes the current Land Cruiser 300 feel archaic. It makes the Land Rover Defender feel overpriced. It offers a driving experience that is simultaneously brutal and serene. It is a contradiction on wheels, and it is magnificent for the buyers in the UK, Australia, South Africa, and beyond. The choice is no longer automatic. You no longer have to buy a Toyota. You can choose to step into the future. The GWM TANK 700 is not just a rival, it is a wake-up call. It is a signal that the era of Japanese dominance is not ending with a whimper, but with the roar of a twin-turbo V6 from Baoding. The king is old, the king is tired, and the challenger has just kicked down the palace doors. Would you stick with the safe bet, the Toyota Land Cruiser, knowing you are paying for the badge? Or would you take the risk on the GWM TANK 700 for the superior tech and power? I want to see a war in the comments section below. Toyota loyalists, defend your champion. GWM fans, tell me why I am right. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are Drive and RPM, and we bring you the truth about the global car market, no matter who gets offended. Until the next drive, keep the revs high.